Hello YouTube land, this is Jeff with Jeff's Toy Reviews, and today I'm reviewing Transformers, Titans Returns, Decepticon Gatorface, and Decepticon Croc. This is from Wave 4. This is one of the deluxe class figures of from this line, and he is a repaint of Skull Smasher, or G1 Skull Crusher. So I really like the piece of artwork that they have here. They do have Gatorface interlocking or decapitating himself. I don't know. Onto or leaving Crocs. Crocs. Sorry, almost called him Skull Smasher. Here is the side picture. Nice little picture of the same artwork. Here is the back of the packaging, and you can. I'll let you sit there and look at that for a minute so you can take a look at the bio there. That's in 4 different languages. Here's a nice picture of Croc with in his robot form. Gatorface and into his robot form, and he does store in the back of Croc in his Gator mode, Sky Shadow, Broadside, Decepticon Quake, and Repugnus. And you can attach him to anyone, same thing as all the others. So yeah, he's from Wave 4. I found him at a local Walgreens, so I'm pretty happy about that. And so let's take a look at the figure himself. And I do have to adjust the camera. And there he is. Oh, and before I get started into that, let me show you here. He does come with the standard instructions, gray and purple instructions, or gray, white, and purple. Same as all the others. And he also comes with the collector card that had that nice piece of artwork. Here it is again. And there you go, Decepticon Croc. On the back, we have some tech specs. And yep, with Gatorface, without Gatorface, and man, is he slow. Anyway, so there he is, and that's it for the card. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. I'm going to bring the camera down just a little bit so we can take a little better look at him. So I actually like this color scheme. As we know, Skull Smasher is a pink and green and black and white figure, and this guy is just has this nice purple. It looks blue on the camera. But it's more of a purple, a lighter purple, and then the neon green and black and some red in there. And you can, pretty much tell the same basic setup here. It's the same fig, and he looks really good. And here he is next to Getaway. So you kind of get an idea of how, he's obviously a lot longer because he is a crocodile, yeah. Straighten that tail out, and there he is quite longer. So get you an idea there of just the size comparison and everything. So, and for articulation, his head is on this nice ball joint, so he can look every which way. He does open his mouth. Some nice green light piping in here, goes right through. I guess I just don't, my light is bright, but I don't think it's bright enough to really showcase this. So yeah, just doesn't funnel in right. So his arms, his hands do rotate, or his feet rotate. He can go up and down. And these do move up and down. Joints are really tight, which is nice. And then his tail moves side to side. And his head can look side to side as well as going the complete full-on ball joint. So really cool. And transformation. Oh, and let me show you here in the back here, you can store his Titan Master or Headmaster, depending on what you want to call him. And here is a Gatorface. His arms are on a ball joint like all the others. His face is not painted, but let me show you. He's got a nice little sculpt to his face. I wish they would paint these guys sometimes, but they just don't. Not sure why, but I guess it's cheaper. That's why. He does have the nice. He can sit, bend at the knee, and put his legs straight out. His arms can go. You kind of force it out. Well, no, this one he doesn't want to reach over his head, but he can go up that far. And his arms can go out a little bit and back down to the side. And let's see here. And when you fold him in half to transform this guy into his headmaster mode, there is Croc's face. I do like that at least they painted the eyes that red or pink. Actually, it's more of a pink, just a darker pink. I think it's supposed to match this, but just with the lighting the way it is, makes it a little darker. It's got some nice silver paint on the top, and his mouth is painted silver as well. And that is it for Gatorface. And we can just close this back up. And this is, I kind of wish this was a, well, I don't kind of, I wish this was a firmer plastic instead of this rubber plastic. It's just a really, tries to be a firm rubber, and it's not that firm. It's really kind of weak, to tell you the truth. So to get this guy transformed, we're going to just remove his tail, and we can remove his gun as well. I'm going to show you the gun right now. Come on. It is the same gun that we got with Skull Smasher, except for this is in a neon green instead of, or neon yellow instead of the white. And correction, this is neon yellow. I said green, it's yellow, my bad. And then this does fold out to be a handle if you need it for such. And so if you want to plug it into another, like a base or something, you can. And the Titan Master, as I just dropped this on the floor, and the Titan Master himself can sit in here, but I have him, it's just like all the others. You peg his feet in there. So if you really, really want to, you can have him get in there. There we go. And then you can put the gun back in here, and then it's like a little ship. And yeah. So if you really want to do that, I think he attaches to some of the bases if they have the ports available. So put that off to the side, put him to the side, and put that to the side. And transformation is fairly straightforward. You do have a tab here, and that tab is going to tab right, into that foot right there. See that back slot in the back? You're just going to do that, and boom. And it tabs in very secure, which I like. And do the same thing on this side. Just bring them in, and we are going to unfold the back section. And they tab in together. There's a tab and a slot here, and then a tab and a slot here. And then you're going to come around to the front. You're going to fold his feet down, and there he is. And I guess you can give him jazz hands if you really want to. Sorry. And then, now that you have him facing, those locked into place. It's really good. I'm not going to adjust the camera because this just folds back and all the way down like so. And that lines up on the back. So I don't have to adjust the camera to bring him up. And then you're going to pull down. And there are these two small tabs here and here. You see that? And they just line up into this groove here. And then there's tabs on the crocodile's neck that tab into these slots here. And then that's what holds it all in place. So you're going to come around, rotate forward, bring the hand up, or bring the paw up or the claws up, and then fold out the hand. And that is your first arm. And then the second one, bring this down. We're going to do the same thing. Take forward, down. So you get the elbows aligned forward, and then bring the hand back. And then we're going to bring the hands out. And I'm going to take his Titan Master and plug it right in. And I will tell you, in comparison to Skull Smasher himself, unfortunately, I wish I had him out of the pack, out of my storage containers right now. I don't, but he is a lot tighter. His joints are better. His legs are better. He still has the same back heaviness as Skull Smasher because of the crocodile head, but. So I mean, I think he's a sturdier and sturdier figure. Mine My Skull Smasher's thighs were so loose, I actually had to add a little bit of a finish onto the ball joint, or the ball peg, so it would tighten up. And after a while, that will wear off. But so for articulation, he does have the ball joint of the Titan Master, so he can look up a little bit, he can look down, kinda, and then his head can spin around. He can look left and right. If you choose to, you can lock him kind of into place where he only looks forward, because there's like this gap in the back here that will tries to do it. But his arms, due to transformation, can come all the way up. He can do a 360. His arms are on a ball joint in the shoulder. You see that? He does have the upper bicep swivel. He also has a wrist swivel, a lower bicep swivel, so a forearm swivel. No wrist swivel or anything, but that's it. You can like move his hand in as part of transformation, but that piece kind of blocks. This black piece will block if you have something in his hand, so it won't go too far. He does have a waist swivel, which is pretty tight on mine. He can go all the way out. Okay. He does have a thigh swivel, and he can, of course, bend his knee. As part of transformation, this locks into place. So once that's locked into place, it can go 90 degrees. But if you want to go further, you just unlock it and he can go all the way up. And then his toe does have a pivot as part of transformation. And I also have this piece here. There's a handle in here, a nice little peg, and it just fits right into his hand. So when I have him on the shelf, this is just how I display mine. Of course, when he's yours, you can display him however you like. And that just helps with the top heaviness, or the back heavy portion, so won't flip over or anything. And for size comparison, I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit, bring a couple of figures out here. First of all, we're going to bring in Wave 3 Hot Rod. And they're about the same size at the head. Hot Rod, of course, has taller shoulders, so he's going to be taller than Crocs here. And we're going to bring in Wave 1. Boom. Wave 1 Blur. And Blur is actually quite shorter than, except for when Crocs decides to do splits, he's actually quite shorter than Croc, which I'm really surprised at. So there you go. That's it for size comparisons. And I'm bring this guy back off to the side, get Hot Rod out of the way. And as for Croc, I like this figure more than I do Skull Smasher, mainly because the joints are tighter. It feels like they took their time a little bit more. So for mine right now is wanting to do the splits for some reason. I like the paint scheme, the color scheme. He actually has a nice Decepticon logo printed on his chest. Skull Smasher, I believe, did not. I had to put a repro label on him so he'd have a Decepticon label on his chest. Really, I like the colors more. Yeah, if he was a G1 figure or back in that time, I've never owned him. I did own Skull Smasher when I was young, and Skull Smasher will always have a place in my heart. However, if you did miss him and you can't find him, and you do want an alligator, or you have Skull Smasher and you want to have an alligator buddy for him, I say don't pass on this guy. And if you do already have Skull Smasher, I would still say don't pass on him. He's really a nice figure. He's got a lot of tight joints, and I think he looks really good on the Decepticon shelf just because of the color scheme alone. Without having him transformed into a Croc or anything else, I think Croc looks really good. And that's my opinion. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Jeff with Jeff's Toy Reviews. You can follow me on Instagram at Jeff's Toy Reviews. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe, like this video, and also go back a couple of videos and you will see that I am doing a giveaway as part of my 500th subscriber celebration. So that giveaway is underway until March 31st. Check that video out for details. And thank you again so much for watching. This has been Jeff with Jeff's Toy Reviews. Have yourselves a good one.